National Executive Committee will focus on the problem of illegal mining. This as the ANC wraps up its meeting. The party's president, Cyril Ramaphosa, is expected to close the meeting. Our reporter, Moloko Moloto, joins us live now for more on the story. Moloko, good afternoon to you. What came out of the briefing by the police minister that we saw earlier?
Good afternoon, Masego Rahlaga. Well, this was a briefing that was led by the chairperson of the ANC's Peace and Stability Subcommittee, who is also National Executive Committee member, Pauli Bushielo. Alongside her was the Minister of Police, Becky Cele. The focus really was more on the activities of illegal mining taking place in the country. This is certainly not a new phenomenon. It's been happening over a number of years. And we heard the minister saying there that they are trying to integrate their efforts as the various departments within government. The Home Affairs, for instance, will also have to play its part, but also the military. But obviously, as the police, their primary role is to prevent and to combat crime. Of course, they did mention the stories which they believe are the successes, talking about how they have been able to crack the back of the cash-in-transit activities, making mention of the killing of those 19 robbers in Makado, Limpopo last month. But also talking about the fact that with regard to the illegal mining activity, they continue to target not only the foot soldiers, not only the people who go underground, but the people who are benefiting from those proceeds. Going on to mention that some of these people live in your places such as Sandton, others abroad in places such as Dubai, an indication that this is a very serious and lucrative business, people making a whole lot of money. And that obviously brings into question a whole lot of questions, Masego, to say, if these minerals are able to leave our shores, where are the police? Why are they not stopping their process of leaving the country? And he was also indicating there, as we were asking about the infiltration of illegal guns in the country, because what they are saying is that they want to do away with violent crime in the country. And you would recall that earlier this year, police arrested several illegal miners in Stilfontein in the Northwest Province, and they confiscated hundreds and hundreds of live ammunition and about 15 AK-47s, which civilians in this country are not allowed to carry. The question, therefore, was how do these guns come into the country without really pinpointing the specific countries that are problematic? Mr. Cele is saying that he is in constant contact with the authorities in Lesotho, authorities in Mozambique as well. But let's listen to him when he was responding comprehensively to that question.
They crossed the border, but not only that we found, they will remember that we found sealed boxes of ammunition, that they had some stamps from different countries and all. They cross border, especially the neighboring countries. Hence, I've said the President of the Republic has instructed some of us in this cluster to speak with the counterparts in Lesotho. I have met the Minister of Police twice. We'll be meeting in 2 weeks again. Not only him, together with the Minister of Police in Mozambique, we have met, we'll be meeting again. That will be the first one, that illegally cross border. The second one, they come from, they come from, there is a funny thing here that is happening, that you'll find a company, security company, that will go under and nobody will account for their guns, and find that those guns, immediately it happens that way, they become illegal, because if the company is no more there, but the guns that were about 4,000, they are out there. That would be. The third one come from our unscrupulous and rotten potatoes from the security cluster. There are not too many, but they are there. For instance, the numbers that we have given that have lost to the police since the beginning of the year is 700. But you would argue that there are thousands and thousands of those firearms there. The fourth one, the bigger supplier are legal firearms from the individual South Africans.
So I see there he alluded to the legal firearms that are coming from South Africans. What did he say about the illegal ones?
Yeah. Well, the illegal firearms are the ones that would be crossing the borders into South Africa. But of course, as he said there, that sometimes the robbers would target the lawful owners of these firearms. But some people would argue that those would not necessarily be in the majority. The issue, another issue here is the issue on our porous borders. Of course, they alluded to the fact that the president last week launched the Border Management Authority, which they believe will be assisting in manning our border lines. Now, obviously, somebody must take accountability, Marcel. Who is to blame for this lawlessness, this rampant crime and violent crime in our country? The question was, Minister, do you think you are up to the task? Do you think that it's about time perhaps you are shifted elsewhere into another portfolio, because it would appear that you are really not winning the war against crime? He personally did not respond to that particular question. However, Polly Bushielo, who is the ANC NEC chairperson of the Peace and Stability Subcommittee, jumped in and defended Begitele, saying that it would be unfair to blame one individual, even going on to say that as the party they do have confidence in Begitele. I wonder how many South Africans who are victims of violent crime would say the same. But let's listen to Polly Bushielo.
The minister did not appoint himself. He was appointed by the president. And as I said, as the chairperson of the Peace and Stability, we are working together. I've mentioned the department that we are working with and how we have found a way of dealing with the issue. So at least we are refining our processes, and it's unfair really to put the blame on Comrade Ndosi when he's trying as much as possible to do the best he could do. As the ANC, we have a trust in him, and we're going to support him. As you see me here with him, we are supporting him. Me and him are not sleeping at all to make sure that, and it's us who said we don't want lawlessness, as you said. We don't want any lawlessness, and we're working very hard to make sure that we do that. So the success that you see other departments also having, like your Border Management Agency and others, those are also some of his efforts that we can talk about. So let's not talk about an individual, you know, as if he has appointed himself. That is not for him to answer. That's for us as the ANC. If we were not happy with him, we would have taken action. But we are helping him, assisting him to be able to do his job, because all of us are affected.
And Moloko, what else are we expecting to hear from that meeting as it concludes today? Are we expecting to hear anything from Minister Pravin Gordhan on what's been happening at state utilities, executives resigning?
Well, I did see Minister Pravin Gordhan walking earlier in the morning, going to join the continuation of this particular meeting. Indeed, the state of Transnet, the state of Eskom, those are key state-owned entities. We know they do not have permanent CEOs, and we understand that he's been able to brief this particular meeting as to how they will be holding him and other people who are here to account. Of course, we all wait to hear from the ANC when they brief us. Officially, tomorrow, the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, is going to be briefing the media. But later today, Marcelo, according to the national spokesperson of the ANC, the president of the party, Cyril Ramaphosa, at about 6 o'clock this evening, will be closing this particular meeting. Obviously, he would be wanting to create an impression that they are up to the task in terms of dealing with issues that are affecting South Africans, be it issues about service delivery, but also the renewal project of the party itself. Are they winning it? We have heard from the former ANC President Thabo Mbeki saying that the ANC is simply failing to renew itself. And he previously responded to that. That is President Cyril Ramaphosa saying that as much as the party leaders can criticize and say all this and that, but they must stop doing that only from the podiums, and they need to get down and also contribute towards the renewal of the ANC. We wait to see, obviously, as the day progresses, to see how and whether there would be any other matter that the ANC will be raising, particularly with members of the media who are here.
All right, Moloko Moloto, quite a lot that they need to discuss there as the governing party, especially as we edge closer and closer to those national government elections. Moloko Moloto, live for us in Johannesburg.